Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. This is Midnight Moon Tarot and I'm Diana. This reading is for the astrological sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, or anywhere in your birth chart that Taurus might appear. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take just a second and invite you to subscribe and click that little bell so that you're sure to be notified whenever I upload new content. Also, in the description box below, you'll find links to my social media, my Patreon, my PayPal, and links to some really cool things on Amazon I think you guys will like. Okay, so this reading is for mid-June 2020. Keeping in mind that all tarot readings are timeless. So, excuse me about the sneeze. Whether you come across this reading right after I upload, a week, month, or even a year from now, if you feel drawn to watch it, most likely you'll find a message for you within the reading. Also, if you find that it doesn't completely resonate with you, just keep the parts that do, disregard the rest, and remember your other planetary placements, like I mentioned at the beginning of this intro, and that way you can listen to your other signs as well for additional messages. Okay, so let's go ahead and calibrate these cards to the astrological sign of Taurus for mid-June 2020, June 10th through the 20th. And ask our angels, guides, and ancestors for any 11 messages for Taurus for June 10th through the 20th. Spirit, what love messages do you have for Taurus for June 10th through 20th, 2020? One more, maybe two more. Okay, here we go. Yeah, one more. You know, you just kind of feel when they're done. All right, now I'm going to divide these into 3 stacks. Alright, and the card on the bottom of the deck is the 5 of Pentacles. And yeah, this card is your overall energy for this reading. So as we go through your spread, I'm going to show you how this card is going to relate to the other cards that come up in your reading as well. And the 5 of Pentacles, you know, it's so cliche, but basically it's true. It's, you feel like you have been abandoned, like you've been left out in the cold, like you are without your soulmate, like you are basically homeless, like your mate is your home and you feel perfectly comfortable and everything when you're with them, and when you are without them you feel kind of broken and abandoned, so to speak. Okay, so that card, like I said, is the overall energy, and we're going to show you how this is going to relate to your other cards that come up. So, I mean, that this is pretty indicative that this reading is most likely for someone who is in separation right at this moment, or maybe have recently been in separation or considering that. Okay, now for those of you who are new here, I do 4 rows. The first row pertains to you, what it is you might have recently been going through, things you're currently dealing with, and people, opportunities, and situations that are coming your way. The second row is the same thing, only it's for your twin flame, your soulmate, your karmic partner, your twin, an ex maybe, that you still feel those really deep soul ties with, somebody that you might have just met, but however, generally it's the person that you're thinking about the most, the one you find yourself thinking about when you first wake up in the morning, and the last person you're thinking about when you go to sleep at night. And the third column is about obstacles, challenges, blockages, fears, anxieties, that type of thing. And your last column is outcome. Alright, so in your first column we have that 6 of Swords as well as the 9 of Pentacles. And this shows me that, you know, where you may be feeling kind of solid and sure of your position, where you are with this person that you've been dealing with, okay? You know what it is you want. You're kind of focused on that. The person you're with may not exactly be the person that you long to be with. You may be in complete and total separation from everybody at this time. A lot of us really are. But you're finding that, you know, what is on your mind mostly is perhaps an air sign, indicated by this little bird that she is holding in her hands there. So now that she's had time to regroup and think things over, having moved away from everyone and everything, made that separation, whether it's imposed on like it is with most of us here in the world these days, or something that was completely out of your control that caused separation, or if it was, you know, just battles. What's the word I'm getting? Battles that you were having with this person that caused this separation and this distance between you. All right, so even though you may have a new love that you've been dealing with, because it feels like there's two loves here. So even though you may have someone that you've been dealing with, you're still kind of focused on the one from previous, okay? And it can be kind of distracting, all right? Sometimes we will find that we can basically just jump right into a relationship. Not me, I know a lot of people do. A lot of people will jump right into another relationship to avoid having to deal with the inner feelings and conflict that we feel when we are first separated from someone. It's a very terrible feeling, and you know, a lot of people just can't deal with that situation, and so they just latch on and grab on to basically anybody, any warm body, anybody that will do. And if you found yourself doing that, you know, it's not always fair to the new person, all right? And it can leave the person that you are no longer with, if you are really still that attached and you're thinking about a reconciliation, you have to consider how that person's going to feel when they see that you just moved on, like they didn't matter at all, okay? So your partner is definitely missing you and thinking about, you know, the things that the two of you had planned, your future that you guys had envisioned and thought about together, and all the things that come with it. But at the same time, you know, they feel very guarded, and I would say both of your people that you have been dealing with, both your air sign and this other person, you know, they're feeling kind of guarded. They feel maybe a little defensive. They don't know what to expect from you. Both persons not being maybe in your environment at this time. So for your obstacles and challenges, we have the Moon as well as the Eight of Pentacles. So, you know, where you were like really seriously, you know, doing some work and you know, focusing on growing that new relationship. At the same time, you've been really thinking about what it is that makes you tick, what it is you actually want from life. In June, we just had an eclipse on the 5th, and we will have another one as well as a solar eclipse. And with these energies from all these eclipses that are coming in this season, you know, a lot of things are going to be revealed. Maybe your new person's going to find out exactly what it is that you are feeling for this previous person. Maybe your previous person is going to find out that you maybe had someone else that you've been entertaining during this separation or this break or whatever it is that the two of you have been going through. But it's going to cause you to, you know, continue that separation that you have from both people, okay? Yeah, and it's not always good, but it still gives you that time to do some more of that inner work and evolvement that is very necessary in your outcome. You have the Ace of Cups as well as the Five of Wands. Okay, so where you really and truly want this Ace of Cups ending, where the love that you have for this person, and there can be only one in the end, and you're going to have to decide what it is. And it's going to cause a lot of conflicts and inner battles, okay, as well as the new person that you're involved with is going to feel very betrayed. They're going to feel like they wish they had never found out about, you know, what it is. They're going to recognize that they have been being used in order to further your ego, and because you couldn't stand being by yourself or being alone, okay? And at the same time, this air sign, I mean, everybody's going to be mad at you, okay? So you're just going to have to, you know, take your hits, so to speak, because, you know, when you have that type of attitude where, you know, you're not being fair to either partner, all right? You're really not even being fair to yourself, because all you're doing is inhibiting your evolvement, and it's like really, you know, so cliche to say low vibrational energy, but that is exactly what it is, okay? And you kind of pollute, so to speak. You may have found someone that is, you know, caring and nurturing, or maybe has that mother aspect, very possibly a water sign. This person could be somebody that, you know, kind of helped you and nursed you through that very harsh emotional break that you were having from your other person. When they find out about it, they're not going to be really happy, you know, because they really thought that you were genuine about your feelings. Now, in this second set of 4 cards, all right, in case I didn't say it, with the 4 rows, I lay out 2 cards in each row for 8 cards, and I do this like 3 times for a grand total of 24 cards. So by the time we get to the end of the spread, we generally have a pretty good idea about what's going on for mid-June 2020. Your partner has the 6 of Wands as well as the High Priestess. Your obstacles and challenges is the 10 of Pentacles as well as the King of Pentacles, okay? And in your outcome, you have that 10 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. Okay, so here we are. We're talking about you now, and where you are you know, figuring everything out in the whole world, and like you're going to be receiving a lot of blessings, and a lot of things are going to be opening up to you. Yet at the same time, we have this nasty 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords always talks about that prison. It can be our own mental prison that is keeping us from moving forward, from keeping us from achieving whatever it is that we are hoping to have in our life. Fears and phobias, that type of thing. And, you know, that's what's keeping you back from having this, okay? Now, yeah. It can also speak about an actual prison, and a lot of us being in quarantine and stuff, we can feel like we're in actual prisons, and that's keeping us from moving about and pursuing and doing exactly what we need to do in the world. All right, so with your partner, we have that 6 of Wands and the High Priestess, and this is always talking about making those decisions, always talking about that equilibrium, more with your air sign there. And we have the twos are always about making the most heartfelt decisions. So your partner is going to come to a decision about whether they do want a reconciliation with you, or your other partner is going to be thinking, do they want to continue the relationship with you, knowing what it is. Now, I'm getting a feeling from one of the partners, particularly the water sign, that you are some kind of a prize to them, all right? And I don't mean to seem hateful when I see that, but they may not have as strong feelings for you, but their pride and their ego is so big that they don't want to lose you to your former partner or to someone just because they don't want to lose, all right? Even though they may be falling out of love with you as we speak, they are not so happy to be the loser in the battle, to admit to the world that they were made a fool of and were used by you as a stepping stone in order to, get to where they are right now. All right, and so in your obstacles and challenges, you are this King of Pentacles, and you are desiring this 10 of Pentacles situation. And like I said, you know, there is something that is holding you back. You are unable to achieve this at this time. You are really, this is what you want more than anything, and unable to achieve it because of this separation and this distance, space, and time, or whatever it is that's going on between the two of you. You feel like maybe too much time has passed, too much distance. Don't know, but there is definitely a very big separation going on. Now, when we get to your outcome, we have the Three of Wands as well as the Ten of Wands. And this Ten of Wands, there's always about the ending of a cycle. It's about putting away those past hurts, about no longer holding grudges, about you know, realizing the error of our ways and being able to put those things down so that we can move on and achieve this. And we are finding that you are waiting for your ships to come in. But you have to remember that things don't always work on your timeline. Like whatever caused the separation between you and your air sign, this could be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini person, you you know, and you maybe didn't consider their feelings at the time. And just because now that you've figured it out and you're ready to come back, doesn't mean that they are welcoming at this moment, even though they may be considerate or cordial to you. They may not be able to move forward with a relationship. So this is where your moral character is going to shine. You will either say okay and accept that and let the person, your water sign person that you've kind of been manipulating and using to keep you company or to serve whatever purpose they are with you, to let them go and not fall back on them as a crutch just because your air person is like saying, hey, I can't do this right now. Doesn't mean we can't do it in the future, but I can't do it right now, okay? They just need to feel like it, in the word whim, like maybe you're just calling back on them on a whim. And the test will be whether you actually mean that, and they can see that by whether you are going to go back to the person previous that you've been using in the meantime. Okay, so when we get to this last little set of 4 cards, we have Justice and the Magician. Your partner has the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. And your obstacles and challenges, fears and anxieties, we have the Seven of Cups as well as the Nine of Cups. And in your outcome, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. All right, so, yeah. All right, so with the Magician, okay, hold on just a minute here. Okay, sorry about that. My battery was full and it looked like it completely drained, so I had to stop and recharge. So we have the Magician as well as the Justice system. So this shows me that, you know, you are feeling like you have the need to manipulate your environment to create exactly what it is that you want in your life. So just because someone has not, you know, your partner had this High Priestess, okay? So now you have the Justice card, and we both have this very similar. You have the 2 columns. It's about decisions. It's about, you know, that final decision about what's going on. And just because you're not getting the answer that you want at this time, you definitely have the ability and the knowledge of how to use things around you to manipulate your environment in order to create the outcome that you want. However, you are taking away someone's freedom of choice when you do that, their own free will, and it's never really good to manipulate people like that at all. So in your partner, we have that Ace of Pentacles as well as the Seven of Wands. And, you know, yes, you can manipulate the person to coming back to you. And yes, it can be successful, but at the same time, if they are not ready, they are always going to feel within themselves something's wrong. They're going to always feel as if they need to be defensive. There's going to be some confusion there, and sometimes that backfires on you. And you know, when you do that before somebody's ready, I mean, if they're sitting there right there on the edge, yeah, a lot of people go ahead and do it. You know, it's the choice that an individual has to make themselves. It's not always, you know, a great thing to do. But when you do it before somebody is really and truly actually ready to do it, you are going to be in the position where you have to keep it up. And just keep it up and keep it up. Okay? But when you do that, you are keeping that person from making their own decision about what it is they really and truly want to do. So in your obstacles and challenges, you have the 7 of Cups as well as the 9 of Cups, and you're kind of stuck in this balance again about, do I, you know, while my sweetheart is not having anything to do with me, do I go back to this person and dwell in this, like, this debauchery and cesspool of all this overindulgence in because I need my needs met, and you know, taking advantage of other people and being nasty and sneaky about it, because you only end up polluting that new love. And you know, you can be pretty smug here when you have this 9 of Cups, because you feel like you have it all, you know, because, you know, if my baby doesn't want me right now, well, this other person is so whatever infatuated with you that they're just going along with everything you say, because they haven't really discovered what the real you is all about at this particular time. Okay. All right, and in your outcome, you have the 8 of Cups and you have the 7 of Pentacles, and that 8 of Cups that's talking about, okay, you're walking away from that situation, possibly forever, from your water sign. So when you see the 8 of Cups, it's always about, you know, walking away to something that's better, continuing working on yourself, that environment, growing that stability and that security that you need in that new relationship, which is your original older relationship. So I'm just going to reach in and maybe grab another card just for a clarifier here, and we have that Page of Pentacles, which is about opening it up and communicating with your partner and letting them know exactly what it is that you feel. If you're sorry, say you're sorry. You know, that is one of the best bridges you can come to. And we have, of course, the Queen of Swords, and we've been talking about your past love being an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, most possibly it's between Gemini and Libra. Could be either one of those signs. But yeah, that person right now, they're kind of like letting you approach, but they have you at an arm's length. So just take it easy, take your time, and realize that there's been a lot of hurt that's been involved and a lot of growth that needs to happen in order for a reconciliation of any sort to happen with your Queen of Swords. Okay, Taurus. So that is your reading for mid-June, June 10th through the 20th-ish, 2020. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will be back here shortly for your last 10 days of June readings. And until then, I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for all of your comments, likes, shares, subscribes, and all of your support. And to those of you who have so generously donated to my channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. It enables me to continue making these videos and to continue growing our little community here on YouTube. All right, guys. Bye-bye. I love you. Mwah.